factoring today, you have factored in Math 1, and you may or may not remember how your teacher taught it, so we'll show you how we do it. So step 1, check for a GCF. Anybody remember what GCF stands for? Greatest common factor. So let's look at example 1. Do x squared minus 3x and negative 40 have anything in common, all three of them? No. So there is no greatest common factor on that one, okay? But you still need to check for it. All right, multiply A and C. By that, I mean your first number. So A would be 1, and C would be negative 40. So you multiply those. 1 times negative 40 is negative 40, and you write it out to the side, and you can use a calculator. What are some things that multiply to give me negative 40? Negative 2 times 20, and you may use a calculator. What else gives me negative 40? Negative 4 times 10. All right, and negative 5 and 8. All right, let's stop right there and see. We are looking for a combination. So these were numbers that multiply to give me negative 40. Now I'm going to add them together, and I'm looking for one that gives me negative 3, which is your B. That's what I mean by that. Find the factors that work to make B. So if you add negative 2 and 20, what do you get? You get positive 18. Yep, at this step you add.
Okay.
At this step you add. So negative 2 plus 20 is 18. What's negative 4 plus 10? 6. Negative 5 plus 8? 3. Okay, we're close, but we need it to be what kind of 3? Negative 3. What other combination could I do that would give me negative 3? Negative 8 and positive 5. When you add negative 8 and positive 5, does it give you negative 3? Yes. Okay. All right. Now, your next step, so those didn't work. You divide these two numbers by A, which sometimes is really easy, because in this case, what is A? 1. So when you divide them by 1, does it change anything? No, you still get negative 8 and positive 5. And now you're ready to put your answer in parentheses. So you put x and x, x and x, and negative 8 and positive 5. That came from these two numbers, negative 8 and positive 5. That's your answer. Okay? Why did I put an x and an x? What does that make? It makes your x squared. Okay, so it's splitting into x and negative 8 and 5. Okay? If you did your box, which you don't have to do, but if you did your box, x and negative 8, x and 5, if you multiplied this, you should get that. Okay? So that's how you could check your answer. Okay? All right, let's do number 2. All right, what does step 1 say to do? Check for a GCF. 3, 6, and 24. Do they have anything in common? What do they have in common? 3. So we're going to put a 3 under all of them. 3 will go into all of them. What else do they all have? An x. They all have a x. So I'm going to put an x under all of them. Okay? All right, we practiced this yesterday. Divide your big number. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. What do you do with your little numbers? Subtract, which gives you x to the second. Negative 6 divided by 3, negative 2. Then you subtract your little numbers, which just gives you x. And then negative 24 divided by 3, negative 8. And what happens to your x's? They disappear, okay, because that would give you x to the 0. Okay, so we just did step 1, check for a GCF. Now we are going to multiply A and C. So A is now 1. You do it with your new problem. So A is 1. And what is C? Negative 8. Okay, so we put that out to the side. Put that out to the side. What multiplies to give me negative 8? 1 times negative 8. What else? Negative 4 times 2. All right, let's stop there and see if that was enough to get us what we want. Okay? Yes, sorry. Okay? All right, so at this step, we're going to add these. So what's 1 plus negative 8? Negative 7. You may use your calculator. What's negative 4 plus 2? Okay. Look in the middle. That's what we want. What do we want in the middle? Negative 2. So this one will work. The negative 4 and 2 is perfect. That's exactly what we want. you have to divide those by a, which in this case is just 1. It doesn't change anything on this one. On some of them, it'll change it. Negative 4 divided by 1 is still negative 4. 2 divided by 1 is still 2. Okay? So now you're ready to write your answer. Parentheses, parentheses, x and x, and then negative 4, which is the same thing as minus 4. 2 is positive, so I'm going to put plus 2. One thing you'll see on your test or quiz is they'll put the GCF out front. Okay, they'll put the GCF out front. It'll be multiple choice, so you don't have to think, oh my gosh, what if I forget that? But that's what that is. That's the GCF, and they'll throw it out front for the answer. Okay?
Would x plus 4 and x minus 2 work?
No, because if you did that, so if you did 4 and negative 2, when you add those, you get positive 2, and we need it to be negative 2. Okay? Now, this is another answer. You could put x plus 2 in the first one and x minus 4 in the second one. It doesn't matter which one you put in the first and second, but the signs do matter. Okay? Okay, number 3, 3x squared plus 13x plus 4. What's step 1? Find the GCF. Does anything go into 3, 13, and 4? No. Okay, so that one has no GCF. So now we're step 2. What does step 2 say to do? Multiply A and C. So 3 times 4. 3 times 4, which is 12. Okay, and it's positive. All right, what multiplies to give me positive 12? 3 and 4. 6 and 2. 12 and 1. Okay? 3 and 4, 6 and 2, 12 and 1. Okay? All right. After we make our list, what do we do with them? Add them. Okay, so that'd give me 7, 8, and 13. Okay? Which one do I want? The one that gives me 13. Look in the middle. You're looking for that number. Okay? All right. Now, you take these two. These are the two that give me 13, and I divide them by A.
3.
So this is A, B, C. So A is what number? 3. Okay, you divide them by 3. Divide them by 3. What's 12 divided by 3? 4. Okay. All right, will 1 divide by 3? No. Okay. Okay, let me show you how this works in your answer. So parentheses, parentheses, x and x. 4 is positive or negative? Positive, so I'm going to put plus 4. That one's really easy to do. When you get a fraction, the 3 goes in front, and then the 1 goes next. That's your answer. That's the answer. The 3 goes in front, and the 1 goes there. Okay, so you won't, is there an actual fraction in my final answer? No. Okay, you write it like that in the final answer. Okay. Questions? Okay, number 4, what do you do first? See if there's a GCF. And this is a 1, 4, and 4. So does anything go into 1, 4, and 4? No. Okay, so there's no GCF. Then step 2, multiply A and C. So you're multiplying 1 and 4. Okay, multiplying 1 and 4. Okay, 2 and 2. And 4 and 1. Okay. All right, after I make my list, what do I do with those? Add them. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. Okay, we're going to have to think on this one. What kind of 4 is this in the middle? It's a negative 4, and right now I have a positive 4. Okay? How else could I multiply? Caleb? Very good. So guys, take a minute and think about this, and you can use your calculator. Does negative 2 times negative 2 still give you 4?
Yes.
It does. Check your calculator if you need to. Negative 2 times negative 2 still gives you 4. What about when you add negative 2 and negative 2? It gives you negative 4. Okay, and you can use your calculator. Negative 2 plus negative 2 is negative 4. Okay? All right, so I'm going to write them down here again. All right, so we want -2 and -2. And you always have to remember to divide by a, okay? Got to divide by a once you get them.
That's 1?
That's 1, okay? So when you divide by 1, does it change it? It's going to be -2 divided by 1 is -2. You can use your calculator. -2 divided by 1 is -2. So you're ready to do your parentheses, your final answer, x and x?
-2, -2.
Good. -2, -2. Guys, I don't mind at all if you leave your answer like that, but on a test, they might write it like that. So again, if you're taking a multiple choice test, is this answer the same as this answer? Yes. Okay? I don't care which way you write it, but if you have to click an answer, you need to know those are the same thing. Those are the same thing. Okay? All right, number 5, x cubed plus 9x squared plus 14x. All right, got to check for a GCF. Do all of these have something in common?
No.
They do. What do they all have in common?
X.
X. Okay. Okay. They all have an x in common, so you're going to divide that out. You're going to divide that out. So subtract your little numbers. 3 minus 1 is 2. Bring down your 9. Subtract your little numbers. Bring down your 14. What happens to these x's?
They cross out.
They cross out. Okay. All right. Now you're ready to multiply. 1 times 14 is 14, and you put it out to the side. All right, what multiplies to give me 14? 7 and 2. All right, 7 and 2. Does 7 and 2 add to give me 9? Yes. Okay. All right, don't forget, you got to divide them just to double check, see if it changed anything. When you divide by 1, 7 divided by 1 is 7. 2 divided by 1 is 2. So, x and x. What else do I write in them?
7, x plus 7.
X plus 7 and
X plus 2.
x plus 2. Is there anything else you might see in the answer for this one on a test? They'll put that GCF, they'll put it in front on the test, so don't let that throw you off.
On your quizzes or that you're getting your books, does it matter where you put that in?
Nope, sure doesn't. All right, number 6, 5x squared plus 25x minus 180. All right, first thing I'm gonna do is check for a GCF. 5, 25, and 180, what do you think? 5. Okay, use your calculators. Okay, so we'll divide them all by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. Drop down your x squared. 25 divided by 5? 5. Drop down your x. And 180 divided by 5. What is it? 36. Okay. All right, my next step, maybe I'll start calling this the rainbow step. 1 times -36. Negative 36. Okay. All right, what are some things that multiply to give you -36? -6 and 6. One of them's got to be negative. -12 and 3. Very good. Okay. All right, let's stop there and go ahead and add those and see if any of them will work. -6 plus 6, 0. -12 plus 3, -9. -9 plus 4, -5. What do I need it to be? I'm looking for +5. Good, switch it. So what should I write here?
4, -9.
4. -4 and +9. Okay. All right, don't forget you have to divide by the front number, which is 1. Okay. But when you divide by 1, it doesn't change anything. Okay. So x and x. -4 and +9. Okay. Somebody who hasn't answered yet, what will they put out front? The 5. They'll put the 5 out front. Okay? All right, good. All right, 3 more, guys. Stick with me. Number 7, 6x squared minus 11x minus 7. Anything go into 6, 11, and 7? No. Okay, so go ahead and do your rainbow. 6 times negative 7. Negative 42. Okay. All right, so when you think of 42, what's something you think of that gives you 42? Negative 6 and 7. All right, but when you add that, what does it give you? It gives you 1, okay? And we're looking for 11. Okay, so guys, those of you who are having trouble, you take your negative 42. When you divide it by 1, what do you get? Negative 42, but you could write that down, negative 42 and 1. Then you could do negative 42 divided by 2. You just go in order. 2 and negative 21. Then I do negative 42. What would come next? Divided by 3. You just do it in order, which gives you... Okay, and let's stop there. And if it doesn't work, we'll have to keep going in the calculator. But let's try that. Negative 42 and plus 1. Is that going to give you 11? No. 2 plus negative 21? It's not going to give you 11. What about 3 plus negative 14? It gives you negative 11. Okay?
So you keep dividing by each number? Like 1?
Yeah. So you divide by 1, then you divide by 2, then by 3. Then when you divide it by 4, here's a good one, guys. Look up here. When you divide by 4, you get a decimal. You wouldn't write that one down. You would skip it. Then you would divide it by 5, skip, divide it by 6, write it down, so on. Okay? Okay. Somebody tell me what I have to do at this step. Very good. I have to divide. Okay? What number am I dividing by? 6. I'm dividing by 6. Okay? All right, so look, here's what you can, again, your calculator can be your friend in this class. 3 divided by 6, and then I'm going to hit math. So go ahead and do that in your calculators with me. Do 3 divided by 6, 3 divided by 6, and then hit math. It's underneath the green button. Math is underneath the green. Hit math, enter, enter. What does it give you? 1/2. So I'm going to write that down, 1/2, because I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with it. Then I'm going to do negative 14 divided by 6. And I'm going to do math, enter, enter again, which gives you what? Negative 7 over 3. Okay, let me remind you how you put it in the parentheses. Okay, let me remind you how you put the print. The bottom number goes in front. The bottom number goes in front. Bottoms up, bottoms up. Okay, the bottom goes in front. 2 goes there, and then plus 1. Okay, what number goes in front of this one? 3 minus 7. That's your answer.
So you do the math, put enter, enter, when it's like a fraction that doesn't go in easily?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Other questions?
Of course not.
Okay, 2 more. Stick with me. Stick with me. Keep your heads up. 3, 13, and 10. Anything go into all those? No. So let's do the rainbow next. 3 times negative 10. Negative 30.
3 times 10.
All right. 3. One of them has to be negative. One's going to be negative. 3 times negative 10. Negative 6 and 5, I heard. Negative 2 and 15. Okay. Before, you're welcome to keep going, but I recommend adding at some point to see if you found it yet. 3 plus negative 10. Negative 7. Negative 6 plus 5. Negative 1. And negative 2 plus 15. 13. Yeah, that's what we want. Right there. 13. Okay. Guys, couple more minutes. Right here, what do I have to do once I find the combination? divide by 3. Okay? Again, negative 2 when you divide it by 3, you can double check in the calculator. Negative 2 divided by 3. Math, enter. It stays negative 2 over 3. What about 15 divided by 3? That's 5. Okay? All right, can someone who hasn't answered yet try it? Somebody who hasn't answered. Very good. Very good. Excellent. And then x plus 5. Okay? All right, last one, number 9. Anything going to 6, 19, and 10? No? 2 doesn't go into 19. Okay? All right, rainbow step, 6 times 10? 60. 6 times 10? 5 times 12? 2 and 30?
We already got it.
No, we don't.
3 and 20. 4 and 15. 3 and 20. 4 and 15.
4 and 15. Okay? All right, so when you add these, you get 16, 17, 32, and 19. Okay. 19 looks like what I want, except for this is a negative 19. Okay? Be careful, you don't just make one of them negative. Don't just make one of them negative. Because if one of them was negative, 4 times negative 15 would give you negative 60. That's not what I want. What do you have to multiply in order to get a positive? A negative times a negative. They both have to be negative. They both have to be negative. Okay?
So you can't do 4 times?
Yeah. You just have to make them both negative. Because you need it to give you negative 19.
You just said negative and negative is positive.
When you multiply it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. When you add it, it's not. Okay, once I find my winning combination, what do I do?
Divide by 6.
Divide by the front number. Okay? All right, negative 4 divided by 6. Negative 2 over 3. Math, enter in your calculator. Negative 15 over 6. What is it? Okay. All right, so I'm going to put them in parentheses.
3 and 2 is 2. And 2 is minus 5.
Very good. Your bottom number goes in front if you have a fraction.
That's what